Yeah, for sure. Got a question over there, Tim.
Related to the topic, in Michigan we have the youth hunt.
Yeah, it's on. You're good.
We get a lot of kids if you watch like the Michigan Buck Poll website or Facebook page, etc. And they're starting out, and these kids are 7, sometimes even younger, 7, 8 years old, and they're shooting these 130 and up bucks. What do you think? What's your opinion of somebody who goes out there and whacks a giant first thing, and then maybe there's a letdown and they're not seeing big bucks later on in life once they can't hunt a youth hunt or they've got to be out there with the rest of everybody else? I think that's a detriment to the hunter numbers. Kids that are giving up due to, they shoot a big one first thing and all they see is little ones after.
If shooting a big buck is a detriment and it's making you not want to hunt anymore, that's a problem I don't think you can solve. I think that somebody's going to get out of hunting anyways. I think getting that buck down probably keeps them interested in hunting, keeps them wanting to do that again. I think somebody who has no success for a few years probably got it worse. It's a lot different. I had this conversation with somebody in the audience, but it's a lot different now than it was like when I was a kid. And I have to realize that too, because it's easy to get down on like the youth hunt and stuff like that, because you look at the youth hunt and you're like, well, you take that kid, you give him a special hunt, you take him out there, treat him special and stuff, and that's not really hunting. That's like babysitting, Where when I was a kid, there was something about earning your way into deer camp. It's like you're a man when you got invited into the man's camp to hunt with men and do it the way men do on the days that men do it. And you didn't start out in the best spot. Dad didn't put you where you're going to shoot the big 12 pointer. Dad was sitting where he's going to shoot the big 12 pointer. You get to go find your spot over someplace, and you earned it. You had to build your way as a hunter. And there's something to that. But what I have to remember at my age is that this isn't 1970. And kids nowadays, you're competing against, video games and all kinds of stuff, their friends and stuff, where we didn't have that when we were kids. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any of that. So you kind of do got to, cater them. It's a different crowd, So I think that the success probably actually helps keep them involved nowadays. Personally. You got anything on that?
Yeah, I kind of know. I think I get the point you're making. Like, I kind of have a problem with like you're raising a kid to where you go set in a box blind and you're on your tablet until your dad taps you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, there's a buck in the food plot. Shoot it." It's like, man, I don't know if they're really learning anything there, So that's something like I'm really, because I have a 2-year-old son. I'm like, I think about it every day. Like, how am I going to introduce him to this and how, what's the best way? Like, like I think Dan, you probably okay to talk about this. Like you talked about, you probably pushed your kids too hard in hunting.
Yeah, I did.
And so like, I don't, I try to, I'm like, and for me, I don't know. I just wanted to hunt. Like, I don't think you could have pushed me hard enough when I was little. But I think I don't know. I've hunted with some kids that were like, we didn't see a deer the first 30 minutes. We were done. He's like, I want to go home. Like, that's not hunting, man. You're going to have to sit here a little bit. So there probably is a fine line where you got to push them a little bit and make it, so it's not a guarantee. I don't know. I'm going to find out though. We'll give her a shot with him.
Even when you look at like the turkey youth hunts, over by me, they have these mentoring clinics where the DNR is, sponsoring, mentoring kids to turkey hunt. And some friends of mine got involved in it. I went and watched it go on, and I was like, I don't really like this so much from an outside perspective, because they weren't mentoring the kids. They were having them kill turkeys, basically. They're taking them to blind in the dark they didn't set up, that they'd never been to before. They'd meet the hunter in the morning in the dark for the very first time and then go out and kill a turkey, where I think, mentoring is taking them out, teaching them about putting the stand up, teaching them about putting the blind up, teaching them about why you're there and stuff. And it eventually leads to a hunt. And then I think you have a better outcome. And then if that kid can't handle sitting in a stand for 30 seconds because he won't handle the scouting.
Right.
You either love it or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know how much of that stuff goes on anymore is what I'm afraid of, I guess. And maybe I'm not giving people enough credit, but it's like when I was 9, like I climbed my own tree and held my own gun. I didn't have some tripod thing holding my gun. And I don't know.
I'm sure it's still out there. It's just not as prevalent
Right.
as it was with us. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people in here got good kids that are.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Addicted
what
to it.
I'm not generalizing. I think a lot more of it goes on in a way that I don't think is helpful for the kids. But anyway, that's a good question. We could probably make a whole podcast about getting kids into hunting.